Hello, my name is Jorge Alvarado. I'm going to be talking about an article I chose from the New York Times, which talks about one of the biggest supply chain processes implemented in the United States this year with the Airbus company. This European, as you know, is the largest manufacturer of airplanes, which has opened an assembly line in a place called Mobile in Alabama. This was kind of a economic and political project which try to bring investment into the region, and I believe this project has a lot of points that we have touched in class. I'm going to be talking about two of them, which is the manufacturing operations as well as a little bit about automation, since this is a short video. On my mind, I believe the manufacturing process of these, even though it's not manufactured as a whole in Alabama, it's manufactured in Europe, all the parts, so they come from different parts from Germany, Ireland, France, for example, which they send everything through the port from Hamburg. So the first step would be the logistics side of it. I'm going to be showing pictures along with these, how they export their final parts from the port of Hamburg and put them in the port from Alabama, making the assembly line in this little city called Mobile. Another thing is the automation. Once you see the pictures that I'm showing, is the huge advantage that it's cheap. There's a lot of cheap labor in Alabama, mostly in the whole state, and it is easier for people, as I said, it's a kind of a political thing, to assemble the whole thing in the United States, because they are the ones who buy the most of these airplanes. Another thing is the assembly process. They're trying to make it as lean as possible, and that's other thing we have been learning, the Six Sigma strategies to make lean manufacturing, to do not have inventory, to reduce costs, reduce times, because as we learn in class, the most time that a part spends is traveling, or processing, waiting. So we need to cut wait times, and as Airbus is growing in this assembly line, they're expecting to have more employees. A lot of their suppliers have opened offices right next to it to have a little bit more efficiency in that side. So that's another thing I want to point out. All the contracts they made with their suppliers, and having long-term contracts with suppliers for these type of things are the kind of the best things to do, as the Toyota way. And one final thing I want to touch about is, since we saw it in class, is the automation, which we can saw automation in the assembly process. It is not described here, but we can see it in the pictures, part of the robotic side of the things that assemble the parts of the plane. I think this is a really interesting process that we have been learning in class. How does pieces come along? How does pieces assembly itself by having automated systems and having kind of an automated language, which makes easier, cuts labor from people, it can make things easier, such as the example we made about the tennis balls, which was a huge thing to identify defects from things. And I hope this project grows itself. I hope they can start manufacturing as well. If not in the US, probably in a port near it in Mexico, for example, would be a great option from my side, just to bring it over and cut the times, about 3 weeks, spending the time from sending parts from Europe all the way to assemble it in the US. I think that's a little bit hard, and that's a thing I'm not really sure about. But yeah, as we can cut as much time as we can, make profit, and make the process more efficient, I think that's going to be the way for Airbus in this new assembly line to succeed for the future. So, thank you.